The alien ship drifted silently in orbit over the ruined moon. It had been damaged during the first contact with the human battleship. Commander Varnock sat in his command seat, eyes fixed on the large screen. His ship, the Helleran Vortex, was once one of the most feared in the sector. Now it shook with every system report. Half of their weapons were gone. Shields were offline. Engines were weak. Across from him, Science Officer Tilna stood quietly. She had not spoken for a long time. Varnock finally turned to her. "Any update?" Tilna hesitated. Then she said, "The human ship is still out there. It is not chasing us, but it is watching. I believe it wants us to know it could destroy us any time." Varnock nodded slowly. "They want us to be afraid." "Yes," she said, "and it is working." Far below them, on the damaged moon, the wreckage of the outpost still smoked. It had been a secret base. The humans had not only found it, they had sent a single battleship to handle it. That ship had destroyed the base in minutes. On the human ship, Captain Laura Price stood with her arms crossed. She looked at the holographic display of the alien ship, showing the damage done. "They're not moving," said Commander Jake Morgan. "They're not a threat anymore," she said. Jake looked at her. "So what do we do now?" "We wait." Laura said, "Let them think. Let them report back to their leaders. We are not going to fire unless they attack again." Jake nodded. Understood. Behind them, in the war room, Chief Tech Officer Alan Ross was checking the communication. Logs. A signal had been sent by the alien ship to one of their nearby bases. Alan was already decoding it. He tapped his console and said, "They've called for help. A fleet might be on the way." Laura turned slowly. "How long?" "3 days, maybe 2, Alan replied. Laura didn't look surprised. "Let them come." Jake raised an eyebrow. "You want more of them?" "I want them to see what we are," she said. "They scanned our ship. They thought they knew what we were capable of. But they don't understand yet. They will, soon." Back. On the Helleran Vortex, the crew was working to repair the worst damage. Varnock walked through the halls, watching his officers. They looked shaken. They were quiet. The fear of death had spread through them like smoke. In the engine room, a young officer named Relka looked up as Varnock entered. He saluted weakly. "Status?" Varnock asked. "Minimal power restored," Relka said. "We can fly, but not fast. Shields at 5%. Weapons at 20%. Varnock nodded. "Good work." "Keep going." "Yes, Commander." Varnock left without another word. He had no comfort to offer. The truth was, they had seen something they could not explain. The human ship had weapons they didn't understand. Shields that bent physics. Armor that melted their best fire like snow. He returned to the command bridge. "Commander," said Tilna, "we are receiving a signal from High Command. They want a report." "Send them the scan data," Varnock said. "Send them everything." Tilna looked nervous. "They will not believe it." "They have to," Varnock said. "If they send more ships like ours, they will all die." Far across the stars, in a large hall lit with blue fire, the Helleran High Council received the data. The council members looked at the readings. Some shook their heads. Some stood in silence. "This is a lie," one of them said. "This cannot be," said another. "No single ship has this power." But one elder voice spoke up. "It is not a lie. I have seen this before." The others turned to him. His name was Elder Joran. He had been part of the first scouting teams decades ago. These are humans, Joran said. They do not fight like us. They do not think like us. Their strength does not come from numbers. It comes from something else. Like what? Asked a council member. Like will, he said. They don't fear death, and they do not care about limits. They build weapons not just to win, but to leave nothing behind. The council went quiet. Back on the human ship, Laura Price looked at the stars from the observation deck. She remembered her father, a fleet commander who had died in the First Halloran War. She had grown up in a world of war stories. She had trained harder than anyone. And now, she was here. Jake walked up beside her. They'll send more ships, he said. I hope they do, she said. Jake gave a small smile. You think we're ready? Laura looked out at the stars. We're always ready. They still think war is about firepower. But war is about knowing when to strike and when not to. Jake nodded slowly. What if they try to talk peace? Laura turned to him. Then we listen, but only if they listen to us too. No more secrets, no more spying. Jake looked thoughtful. And if they don't, then we finish what we started. The ship hummed quietly as the stars passed by. Far away, new ships were already preparing to jump into the system. More battles were coming, but the humans were not afraid. They were ready. The enemy fleet arrived 2 days later. 5 large warships entered the system. They came in fast and silent, moving like hunters. Their hulls were black, their engines burned red. Each ship was bigger than the last. They did not send any message. On the Liberty Flame, Captain Laura Price stood on the bridge with her officers. They watched the ships on the screen. Archon gave updates every few seconds. 5 vessels, all armed, all targeting us, said Archon. Jake Morgan looked at Laura. They're not here to talk. Laura nodded. I agree. Ready weapons. No shots unless they fire first. Megan Doyle, at the weapons control, spoke without turning her head. All weapons ready. Shields at full. The crew waited. The enemy ships slowed down as they came closer. The lead ship moved ahead of the others. Then it stopped. For a few long minutes, nothing happened. Then a message appeared on the screen. It was short and cold. Surrender your ship or be destroyed. Laura stared at the words. Then she looked. Around the bridge, open a channel. Joel Banks nodded. Channel open. Laura stepped forward. Her voice was steady. This is Captain Laura Price of the Liberty Flame. We will not surrender. We will not run. If you fire, we will answer. She paused. This is your only warning. The channel closed. The enemy ship did not reply. Then they fired. The first blast hit the shields. The ship shook, but held firm. The second blast came seconds later. Laura gave the order. Return fire. Target their weapons. Megan's fingers moved fast. The Liberty Flame answered with fire. Railguns lit up. Missiles launched. Lasers burned through space. One enemy ship took heavy damage and spun out of control. Another lost its forward cannons. The battle had begun. The Liberty Flame moved like no one expected. It was fast. It was sharp. It dodged blasts. It countered every move. The enemy ships struggled to keep up. Inside the enemy fleet, Commander Kareth shouted orders. He had not believed the old reports. He thought the stories were lies. Now he knew they were true. Focus fire. Destroy that ship, he yelled. But it was too late. The Liberty Flame struck again. One more enemy ship exploded. The others broke formation. Back on the human ship, Laura saw it. "They're falling back," she said. "They didn't expect this." Jake smiled. "They thought we were bluffing." "They were wrong," Laura said. "One enemy ship tried to run, the Liberty. Flame let it go. Another ship surrendered and turned off its weapons." Laura watched the screen. "Send them a message. They can leave in peace, but tell them this is the last time. If they come back with guns, we will not hold back." Joel sent the message. The battle was over. Later, in the war room, the crew gathered. The crystal from the archive glowed in the center of the table. "We learnt something important," Laura said. "The weapon from the past, the one the archive spoke of, it is still out." There, Alan Ross stood up. "I found new coordinates inside the data. They lead to a dead system. No stars, no life, just black space." Laura nodded. "Then that's where we go." Megan looked up. "What if others go there too?" Laura looked at the crystal. "Then we get there first. We protect what should stay buried." Jake added, "And if it's not buried, what if someone wakes it up?" "Then we stop them," Laura said. "No matter who they are." The Liberty flame turned toward the dark system. Engines burned bright. The crew was ready. They had seen what power could do. They had seen how fear could lead to war. Now they would carry the truth into the deepest part of space. The battleship moved into the void, and the stars watched in silence. The Liberty flame moved through space with steady speed. After the meeting with Admiral Terith, things had been quiet. The Hadn'tHFY rescue fleet had left. No more ships had come close. But Captain Cole knew this peace would not last. Inside the ship, the crew stayed busy. Engineers checked the engines. Security teams trained every day. Archon watched all systems, always alert. On the bridge, Linda Ray studied the star maps. "We are close to an uncharted system," she said. "No records, no signals." Captain Cole looked. "At the screen, let's take a look. Slow us down and scan the system." Joel Banks worked at his station. Scanning now. No signs of life. One planet with water. 2 gas giants. No cities or stations. Cole nodded. "Set course for the planet with water. Let's see what's there." As the Liberty flame got closer, Archon gave a report. "Surface has plants, no large animals. One strange energy signal underground." "Could it be a base?" Megan asked. Unknown, Archon replied. "Signal does not match Hadn'tHFY or human design." Captain Cole looked at Linda. "Send a team, small and fast." Linda nodded. "I'll lead them myself." Soon, a dropship left the Liberty flame. Linda, Megan, and 3 Marines flew down to the planet. The sky was clear. The land was green and wild. Trees swayed in the wind. Birds flew across the air. The dropship landed near the signal. The team stepped out and moved through the trees. The ground was soft. The sun was warm. Megan checked her scanner. "Signal is under us, 20 meters deep. Can we dig?" Linda asked. One of the Marines, Jake, opened his gear. "I brought the drill. Give me 10 minutes." As Jake worked, the others stood guard. Linda looked around. Everything was quiet. Too quiet then, the drill hit metal. A loud clang echoed through the trees. Jake wiped his forehead. "I found something." The team cleared the dirt. A round metal door was under the soil. Strange markings covered its surface. None of them could read it. Megan touched the door. "It's warm. It's still active." Linda called the ship. We found a structure. Looks old, but working. Sending images. Captain Cole looked at the pictures. Proceed with care. If it opens, be ready. Jake pressed a button on the side of the door. Nothing happened. Then the door slowly opened. A rush of cold air escaped. A ramp came out. The team stepped inside. Lights turned on, one by one. The hallway was long, with walls made of smooth black metal. Symbols glowed faintly. They moved deeper. No traps, no sounds, just quiet machines. This place is not Hadn'tHFY, Megan said. It feels older. They reached a large room. In the center stood a tall cylinder. Lights blinked along its sides. Linda looked at it. Is it a computer? Yes, Megan said. Or something like it. Suddenly, the cylinder came to life. A soft voice spoke. It was not human, not Hadn'tHFY, but the translator worked. Welcome. You have entered Archive 9. This site holds records of the First War. The team looked at each other. Linda stepped forward. Who built this place? The voice replied, We are the Ellerin. We are gone. Only our knowledge remains. Megan frowned. The Ellerin, that name is not in any database. The voice continued. The First War ended 10,000 cycles ago. Many empires rose and fell. This archive is for those who seek truth. Linda spoke again. Why did the war start? Fear, said the voice. Fear of the unknown. Fear of new minds. We fought. We lost. Now we teach. Back on the Liberty Flame, Archon listened. It began recording every word. Captain Cole paced the bridge. A lost race. A war no one remembers. This could change everything. The voice in the archive continued. The Ellerin made weapons too strong. One of them remains. Hidden. Sealed. Dangerous. Linda asked, Where is it? The voice replied, You are close, but only those who prove wisdom may enter. Suddenly, a door opened. Behind it was a small chamber with a glowing crystal. Linda walked in. The walls lit up. Images filled the space. Battles in space. Planets burning. Ships the size of moons. The team stood in silence. Megan whispered, This is not a story. It's history. Linda touched the crystal. It glowed brighter. Then the voice spoke again. You are now guardians of this knowledge. Share it with care. Use it with wisdom. The images faded. The room darkened. The crystal dimmed. Linda looked at her team. Let's go. We've seen enough. They returned to the ship with data files on the crystal. Captain Cole met them in the hangar. You saw something important, he said. Yes, Linda replied. Something powerful. Something dangerous. Cole looked at the crystal. We need to take this back. Earth must know. Archon spoke through the speakers. Warning. A new fleet is entering the system. Not Hadn'tHFY. Unknown design. Cole turned to the crew. Battle stations. We are not alone. The Liberty Flame rose from the planet and aimed toward the stars. The calm was over. Something was coming. The Hadn'tHFY were proud and strong. Their people ruled many systems in the outer galaxy. For 600 years, they had not lost a war. Their ships were fast, their weapons powerful, and their leaders proud. They believed no one could defeat. Then one day, a Hadn'tHFY scout ship was flying near the edge of a new star system. The crew on board picked up a large signal. Something big was in space ahead. It did not match any known design. It did not move or send out any message. It just floated there, quiet and still. Commander Brek, a tall and sharp Xanathi officer, sat in his chair and looked at the screen. "Scan it," he said. "Let's find out what this thing is." The crew followed his order. Their scanners sent out a beam to check the strange ship, but something went wrong. The scanner signal hit the ship and bounced back too hard. Lights flashed. Sparks flew from the consoles. Two of the scanner operators fell to the floor as their stations exploded. "What happened?" Jurek shouted. "We don't know," said one of the crew. "The signal returned with too much power. Our systems are damaged. The reactor is unstable." Then the screen changed. A message appeared. It was not in Xanathi language. It had strange symbols, but it felt like a warning. A loud, deep sound. Followed, it made everyone freeze. Jurek stared at the screen. For the first time in years, he felt fear. "Turn us around," he ordered. "Get us out of here, now." The scout ship turned and left the area as fast as it could. It sent a full report back to Xanathi High Command. The report told about the strange ship, the scan that went wrong, and the warning message. High Command was not impressed. "It's just a broken ship," one leader said. The scout's systems were weak. "Send a small fleet to check again." A fleet of 3 Xanathi cruisers was sent to the location. These were warships, strong and well armed. Their mission was to find the ship and study it. If needed, they would use force at the same time. Far away on the human battleship named Liberty Flame, Captain Ryan Cole stood on the bridge. He looked calm, but his eyes were sharp. He knew something was coming. The ship's sensors had already picked up the scout ship days ago. Now, more ships were on their way. Captain Cole had a small but skilled crew. His first officer was Linda Ray. She was smart and brave. Joel Banks worked in communication. He tried to understand any alien message. Megan Doyle was in charge of weapons. She was quiet, but fast and deadly when needed. The Liberty Flame was large. It had strong armor and powerful weapons. Its AI system, called Archon, helped run the ship. Archon was fast and always watching. When the Xanathi cruisers entered the system, Archon gave a quiet alert. 3 ships approaching, said Archon. No message sent yet. They are scanning. Captain Cole stood straight. Let them scan. Let's see what they're looking for. The Liberty Flame did not move. It just floated there, quiet and calm. But it was ready. The Xanathi cruisers saw the ship. It was big. Bigger than anything they had seen before. They started a full scan, stronger than the one before. Again, things went wrong. Their scanners broke. Lights on the Xanathi ships blinked. A loud alarm echoed in all the ships. Then a signal came to the Xanathi ships. This time, it was not strange. It had been translated. A human voice came through, calm and clear. "This is Captain Cole of the Liberty Flame. You have scanned this ship. That was a mistake. Explain your actions. If you do not respond, we will see this as an attack." The Xanathi leader laughed. He had never heard of humans. He believed they were weak. "They dare to threaten us," he said. "Fire a warning shot." A small energy bolt left the Xanathi cruiser. It flew toward the Liberty Flame. The human ship reacted at once. One of its defense guns shot the bolt out of space. Then all its weapons turned toward the Xanathi ships. Lasers, railguns, and missile launchers locked on target. A final message came from the human ship. It was short. "This is not a warning. This is your final notice. The Hadn'tHFY ships stopped. They had never seen such a fast response. They were used to fear, but now they were the ones afraid. One cruiser turned and began to run. The other two charged their weapons. On the Liberty Flame, Megan Doyle looked at the screen. They are aiming at us. Captain Cole gave a slow nod. Archon prepared to respond. Do not destroy, just disable. Archon answered, understood. The Liberty Flame moved. For a big ship, it was fast. Its guns fired with clean, sharp force. In seconds, the first cruiser lost power. The second had its weapons torn away. The third, the one trying to run, was stopped by an engine blast. 3 minutes passed. All 3 Hadn'tHFY ships floated in space, broken and silent. Captain Cole looked at the screen. Send them one last message, he said. Joel Banks nodded and typed. The message was short but powerful. Next time, don't scan us. Far away, the Hadn'tHFY High Command received the message and the battle video. They watched in silence. The humans were not what they had expected. They had scanned a human battleship, and they instantly wished they had an T.**. The wreckage of the Hadn'tHFY ships floated silently in space. Fires had died out. No weapons worked. Power was almost gone. Inside the broken ships, the crew worked hard to stay alive. They sent out emergency calls, hoping someone would hear them. On the Liberty Flame, the crew watched closely. Captain Cole stood on the bridge with his arms crossed. The enemy had been defeated, but he knew it was not over. Someone would come. The Hadn'tHFY would not forget what happened. Joel Banks looked at the comm screen. Captain, their emergency beacons are active. They're calling for help. Let them, Captain Cole said. We're not here to start a war. But we won't run from one either. Linda Ray stepped forward. Should we try to talk to them again? Cole shook his head. No. They made their choice. If their leaders want to talk, they know where to find us. Down in the lower decks, engineers worked with Archon to scan the wreckage. They looked for anything dangerous. Archon spoke softly through the ship's systems. The enemy ships are not a threat anymore, but long-range sensors have picked up new signals for ships much larger. Heading this way, Captain Cole turned to Megan Doyle. Weapon status. All systems ready. Ammo full. Shields at 100%, Megan said. We can fight again. Cole nodded. Let's hope we don't have to. Far away, the Hadn'tHFY rescue fleet was moving fast. The message from the cruisers had shocked the High Command. Their top leaders had watched the video again and again. They saw their proud ships get broken by one human battleship. Many leaders were angry. They wanted revenge, but some were afraid. This human ship was different. It moved fast, hit hard, and gave warnings. The High Council sent Admiral Hadn'tHFY with a large fleet. She was known for her calm mind. She had fought many battles and had never been beaten. As the fleet came closer, Hadn'tHFY studied the reports. She saw the scans, the broken code, and the message left by the human captain. She did not laugh. She knew this was serious. Back on the Liberty Flame, Captain Cole called a meeting. The bridge crew gathered around the main table. We have 4 new ships coming in, he said. They are bigger and stronger than the last ones. We need to be ready. Joel leaned forward. Maybe they want peace. We did send a warning, not a threat. Linda looked at Joel. They might not see it that way. Cole raised his hand. We will not shoot first, but we will defend this ship with everything we have. Archon will guide the weapons. Megan will lead the strike team if needed. Joel, try to make contact. As hours passed, the new Hadn'tHFY fleet entered the sector. They saw the broken cruisers. They saw the human ship still floating, calm but not hiding. It was like a lion sitting alone, not afraid of anything. Admiral Tereth opened a channel. Her voice was strong but polite. "This is Admiral Tereth of the Hadn'tHFY High Command. We ask to speak with the human captain. We come in peace, but we must speak." Joel heard the message and sent it to the captain. Cole stood up, put her through. The screen showed Tereth, dressed in silver armor, her face sharp and focused. "Captain Cole," she said, "your ship is powerful. You stopped our cruisers. I must understand why." Cole stayed calm. "Your ships scanned us twice. You fired on us. We warned you. You didn't listen." Tereth nodded. "Yes. Our people acted without care. I will not defend their mistake. But I ask, what is your purpose here? We're here to explore, to keep watch. We're not here to start fights, but if someone threatens us, we fight back." Tereth looked at her officers, then back at Cole. "I respect that. Your ship is strong. Your people fight with skill. We have not seen humans in this region before. Now we have. I believe more will come." Cole gave a small smile. "Yes, more will come. But not to conquer, to explore, to learn." The call ended. Tereth ordered her ships to help their broken cruisers. They did not fire. They did not scan again. They watched the Liberty flame with care inside the human ship. The crew began to relax, but they knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy had seen their strength. Now, more eyes would turn toward Earth. Captain Cole stood by the main window. Stars shone in the dark sky. The Liberty flame drifted forward, slow but sure. "We made a mark today," he said. Linda Ray stood beside him. "Do you think they'll come back?" "Yes," he said. "They will, and next time they might come with more." Then questions. Behind them, Archon's voice echoed softly. "Let them come. We are ready." And with that, the Liberty flame moved deeper into space, carrying the name of humanity with it, strong and unafraid.